If you're thinking of moving to Prosper, Texas, this map tour could change which side of town you buy in completely and potentially save you from a brutal morning commute. Let's look at Prosper on the map, and it's not laid out how most people think and imagine it is. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you where Prosper sits in the North Dallas growth path. This side of Prosper will have more long-term positioning for you, what the tollway expansion means for you, your home value, and daily commute, and one pocket that I think is really underrated right now in Prosper. Stick around because one section of Prosper feels completely different than the rest, and most people don't realize that until it's too late. First, let's zoom out on the map and really look at where Prosper sits in relation to all the other cities. So, of course, it's north of Dallas, about 45 minutes or an hour north. One of the other major areas as far as jobs is going to be Plano. And then of course, Frisco, Texas. And then you have Prosper. So Prosper is just north of Highway 380 and it sits right in the middle of the tollway. Now, growth in DFW moves north in waves. So Plano down here exploded, and then it moved up to Frisco, and now it's to Prosper and creeping its way into Celina up here. So as you can see, Prosper sits directly in line with the expansion of North Texas. And really, Prosper is one of the hottest areas, but you can pick about anywhere north of this Highway 380 right here, and there is a ton of growth and development happening. But you can think of this as if you bought in Frisco 12, 15, 20 years ago, you have probably seen some massive appreciation potential, and that's where Prosper is likely going to be if you buy now. In 12, 15, 20 years, you're going to see that same expected growth. And this really is not random suburb growth. It's a lot of infrastructure and jobs pushing outwards, because geography alone, just because it happens to be north of some other cities that boomed, it does not mean that this one is going to boom. Access to all those major employers and conveniences are really what make a town boom and become desirable. But let's understand what some of that access looks like. As we zoom in on the map, this road right here is going to be one of the most important roads, not only from really dividing Prosper into sides, but also how you're going to access the city. So if you move here, right, Dallas North Tollway is going to take you to a lot of your major areas. So of course it's extending up to Celina, but most of your major activities are going to be south of you. If you go down, you've got the Omni Resort and PGA Frisco. If you love to golf, won't be far at all. Well, it's really just right, most people are probably going to work in Dallas, Frisco, or work from home. This is Sam Rayburn Tollway, or also 121. It's going to divide Frisco from Plano. So you've got Legacy West. Now this is going to have a lot of your job opportunities, corporate campuses. Of course, you have Stonebriar Mall right there. And then you also have the Star right off the DNT. So that's also how you're going to get to a lot of your major Plano job hubs is the Dallas North Tollway. See, Plano is right here, and I'll get you the borders for it. Plano's right here. So like I said, 121 divides it, but you're going to get to a lot of your major employers from the Dallas North Tollway. So if we go back to, going to get that Prosper outline back to you, we do need to talk about one of the other major roads. And this road, there's no way to sugarcoat it. You're probably not going to really love it. And that's Highway 380. So as you can see here, Highway 380 is what separates Prosper from Frisco. And there's a lot of congestion, especially during those rush hour times, you know, to and from work, after school. It's going to get really backed up. And a large reason for that is there is a lot of stoplights. So, you know, every half to a mile, there's another stoplight. It is a 50 to 60 miles an hour speed limit depending which section you're on, but with those stoplights, it gets backed up. So if you're traveling east or west, it is a really big bottleneck. And I'll be honest with you, it has gotten a little bit better since they've opened the overpasses, but if I personally had to take Highway 380 every day for my morning commute to and from work, I would choose somewhere else where I did not have to do that, unless it's, you know, only a few minutes, right? I can manage that. But if I have to sit on Highway 380 for 15 plus minutes a day and that traffic, I'm gonna choose somewhere where I have to take a road that flows a little bit better. And that's coming from someone that has lived here and driven on 380 their entire life. Something I always encourage you to do when you come out here to look at homes is figure out where you're going to work, or if you work from home, figure out where, your shopping, your dining, your restaurant, your entertainment is going to be, and drive those roads and make sure it's something that you're okay with doing. So, reason I tell you about 380, and of course the Dallas North Tollway is one, so you know how you're going to get around when you move here. But a lot of people think, oh, Prosper is Prosper, but if you buy too far east in Prosper and you have to take those for your commute is going to feel very differently than someone that lives really close to the Dallas North Tollway and can hop right on it. So keep that in mind if you have to use it, and we'll get in more about sides of it. But if you live over here, you can maybe take 289 over. But if you're down here, you got to spend a little bit of time on 380 to get over to the Dallas North Tollway. So keep that in mind, because in DFW, real estate is really always going to follow the toll access. A lot of your high-priced neighborhoods and luxury neighborhoods and that was something. Places where people want to live, they're going to want to be able to get access to places quickly. So if you take Dallas North Tollway over to 121, that'll get you to the Dallas Fort Worth Airport, and then Love Field's down here. But here's where Prosper is going to split into two completely different experiences for you. So if we zoom back in on the map, Dallas North Tollway, obviously tollway is a toll, so you've got to pay for it. But what really divides East Prosper from West Prosper is going to be Highway 289, which is also known as Preston Road. So if you buy or are looking over on the west side of Preston, of course, you're a lot closer to the tollway, easier access, a little bit more convenient for you. Generally, they're a little bit bigger lots than east side of Prosper, and you have, a little bit higher price point ceiling. Now, you also have Windsong Ranch with their 5-acre lagoon. So that's hard to compete with, but that does come with a price ticket. And here in a moment, I'm going to show you what $600,000 gets you on the east side versus west side, and then also over $1 million. Plus, sneaky little home, Deion Sanders' home is up for sale right now, his old home. So I'm going to show you that. Now, east of Preston, this side over here, feels more transitional. You're closer to McKinney, of course. So if you work in the McKinney area, that may be an advantageous area for you to buy. Or if you just love McKinney. McKinney has a lot of really cool shops and things to do. There's a historic downtown square in McKinney. So if that's something you're into, east side could definitely be a great fit for you. Now, the downside with the east side is you do tend to have to use Highway 380 a lot. So depending which side, it would really depend on if I would buy there or not. Like I said, I do not like sitting in traffic. I don't know of anyone who does, but it's pros and cons for you. And if you drive at more untraditional hours outside of, the 7 to 9 and then 4:30 to 6:30 going and to and from work, it may not be a big deal for you. Now, you're also going to have a little bit different builder mix up, This side tends to be more luxury. You're going to see a lot more your higher end builders than you will over here. Not that the builders on the east side are bad, but they may not be as upgraded or as luxury feeling. So really, to help you understand that, is most people, not that there aren't plenty of $1 million homes over here, but generally your budget is north of $1 million. A lot more communities and options over on the west side. If you're closer to that 6 to 800K, you're probably going to look more so on the east side. Not that there aren't $600,000 to $800,000 homes, which I'm going to show you right now what you can get on each side. So we head over here, show you Deion's home first. This is his old home. It's listed at just under $5 million, 29,000 square feet. I'll flip through some of the pictures. I won't go through all of them, but pretty awesome. Like I said, I won't go through all of them. Here, I'll do this. You can pause it if you really want to look through all the different photos, but it's pretty cool. It's got a bowling lane, indoor fitness center, basketball court. It's got everything. But if you're interested in that price point, there are several other options as well. But let's get into some more average price points for Prosper and not ultra luxury. My printer keeps beeping at me. It's not very happy. Anyways, so that's Deion's old home. Let's jump into, let's go for your more luxury price point in Prosper. So This smaller one is on I say smaller, it's 3,500 square feet. It's on the west side of Prosper, and it does not have a pool, and it's at 1.250 million. It's $1.25 million. Versus if you go closer to the west side, the same number of bedrooms, you get 1,100 square feet more and a pool. So let's compare those two, see what the pictures really look like. So this one's a 2022 build. Again, this one is you have a vaulted ceiling, but you don't have any like wooden beams, which I think would look really sharp. Kitchen on this one is bigger than the other home, which we'll get to. You've got a farm sink, which is great. A little separate dining area. I really like the tile in the bathroom. It's kind of cool. It is a little busy, so it may not be your vibe. You have a nice office. This one's 5-bedroom with an office. You have your media room, which is smaller than the other one. Go into this one. So this one is a 2020 build. Great home. This one's a 3-car. Have a massive laundry room. Now the kitchen does look a little bit smaller, but it looks like you may have a butler's pantry that goes behind there. So it's got the beams. This one is a Highland home. I'm almost positive they don't have it listed. I do wish they took the tile all the way up versus adding those trim pieces, but still a great looking home. Very open, and it has a pool, so that's nice. Now the shower fixtures aren't quite as upgraded, but still super nice. Let's get into the pool. There it is. Pretty sweet backyard space. So as you can see, you get a lot more house for the money if you're on the more eastern side of Prosper. Both of them are a 3-car garage. Really apples to apples. You get 1,100 square feet more plus a pool. So of course, I think the one in Windsong is a little bit more higher end finishes, but it's a little bit smaller. So let's go into more so the 600s. This one isn't quite honestly on the east side, but it's closer. It's a good one to pick. So you've got a 4-bed and a 3-bed, so you get an extra bedroom. Let's see what those look like. Okay, so this one's one on the east side. It's a 2006 build, but it's been really nicely updated. This looks like a grand home to me. I could be wrong on that. Definitely some, nope, this is a Bloomfield. Those are giveaway usually, but definitely upgraded. They did not have the herringbone pattern in showers back in 06 to my knowledge, unless they were really ahead of their time. The kitchen is a little small, but it's still doable for sure. Great home. Let's just go through a few more. Let's see, it's the primary. Let's see what happens if we go to the next one. So this one's 2,800, other one was 3,000. So pretty similar on square footage, but you get an extra bedroom on the other one. This one is a 2018 build, so the west side, you get a little bit newer. Now, let me know, I'm curious what you think. I never like when the fireplace is off to the side. That's just my personal preference. And comment any questions you have for me. This one has a lot bigger kitchen. If you want to see a video topic, comment it. There's a good chance I do it. It has an office, media room on this one. This one is definitely a little more upgraded, but it's a newer build. They're both great homes. So I hope that's helpful for kind of showing what's actually out there in the market. I know this is only 2 examples, but I didn't want to bore you too much on that. So let's discuss some of the future growth options that are happening in Prosper and really understanding how that affects you. So you have Prosper, Frisco, and then Plano, right? So the growth has gone upwards. So just near it, you have PGA Frisco and the Omni Resort with the PGA golf course. You have the Fields of Frisco right here, which is another great community you should really look into. Got some videos on it. Whole Fields development is a big, big thing. You've got Windsong Ranch, which is a 5-acre lagoon that's established. Still some new builds in there, anywhere from 500 to 2 million plus. So you've got a ton of good options. And you've got a lot of commercial expansion happening all in this. You've got Universal Kids Resort that should be opening here pretty soon. Expected April to June of 2026. So everything happening around Prosper and south of Prosper really creates that upward pressure to where they have to go north to continue building. And as that retail and commercial and single family builds in, they've got to go further and further north. That pushes the demand there. And with tollway extensions and all of that, it becomes more convenient for people that may work in Dallas or Plano, or even if you work in Carrollton, it would not be bad at all. However, Prosper is not for everyone, and I want to go over really who I've helped and other people just chatting that live there, what they do and don't like about it, and who it's best for. Now, this is really important. Prosper is of course going to be great for people that want newer homes and a great school district. Prosper, depending which website school ranking you look at between Prosper and Frisco, it's a toss-up of who is the better one. If you want a great school district, definitely go there. And also if you want a lot more space on your lots. Some of these have up to 74-foot lots, not uncommon at all to see 50 or 60-foot lots in Prosper, but it's not going to be ideal if you really like nightlife and walkability. Any of these suburbs here don't have much of a nightlife or walkability. There's not a ton of public transportation in North Texas. It's also fantastic if you want quick access to the airport, especially depending on where you live, right? If you're near the tollway, it's not terrible. You can hop on the tollway, go to 121 over to the airport. But really, if you travel a lot for work and need to be close to the airport, you either need to live in this part of Frisco right here, right by the tollway, or choose one of these suburbs or some of the mid-city options. So keep that in mind. If that is important to you, reach out to me. We can make sure we get you in a great community in those, but go back to more so focusing on Prosper. Also, it may not be great if you work downtown Dallas. Although it's the tollway, it still gets backed up, and you're gonna be an hour one way. So maybe better fit if you work from home or work in Frisco. Plano's not terrible of a commute, but keep that in mind that it may not be a good fit if you're in any of those boxes. But reach out to me if you have any questions. We can do a custom consultation to you. What's most important to you as far as being location-wise, price-wise, and to make sure we can ensure a smooth transition for me. Reach out to me. We'll make sure we get you in a great community and location that checks all the boxes for you. If you understand this map, it can really help you make smarter decisions on the move and make sure you end up somewhere you love. So like I said, reach out to me. All of my contact info is below. My team and I would love to help you make a smooth transition to North Texas like we have helped many other families do. And be sure to subscribe. I post a new video every week about a North Dallas suburb or a map video like this. Just important updates if you're considering a move to this North Texas region. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.